Hi students, in the previous video we have discussed about the input. Now in this video we are going to discuss about the queuing system in detail. A queuing system can be completely described as follows. Number one is the input. Input means arrival pattern. Number two is the service pattern. Number three is queue discipline. And number four is queue behavior. Queue behavior means in the sense customer's behavior. Queue means who will be in the queue? Customer. So it is customer's behavior. Number one, the input. Input means the way of the customers arrive for service will be known as input or arrival pattern. This is the important definition on input. The time interval between the first customer and the second customer and the second customer and the third customer may not be equal. It may change. Here it is the time interval between two successive arrival customers is called as inter-arrival time. Next, arrival rate means the number of customers arriving. In the sense, it is having definition itself, it is having arrival. So, arrival rate means the number of customers arriving into a queue for a service. Why they arrive into the queue? For the sake of service. So, in a unit time, this here you have to mention unit time. At a particular unit time is called as arrival rate. Here, arrival rate means here we take arrival considered as lambda. Lambda equal to number of customers arrive in a queue per a unit time. So this is about the input. Now we are going to discuss about service pattern. Service means we already know. Service means we already know. Here, this is also referred as service mechanism. The service pattern tells how the customer can be served at a unit. Service means we itself may know that the what is the meaning of a definition of a service. Service means it is the activity between the customer and a, here only first only we have discussed, it is the activity between the customer. It is the service. Service means activity between the customer and a server. So we already know about that. Here this is also referred as a service mechanism. The service pattern tells how many customers can be served at a unit. Next, we have ideal time and busy time. In ideal time, the server opens the service and starts servicing, but there is no customer. Then the server sits ideal. Then it is called as ideal time. This way, we can take a simple example of a movie. If it is a utter flop movie, then the customer they opens it is then the cinema man then the man will open the counter, then there is no customers available. He will start he will show will be started as usual, but there are no customers to watch the movie. Then he sits ideal. Such this is the example of a ideal time. Ideal time means server opens the service counter and starts servicing, but there is no customer, then it sits ideal. Then it is called as ideal. Then busy period means if the customers are waiting in a queue, it is a super movie, it is a starting first day movie. Then the customers are waiting in a queue. Then the time period between the busy period or busy time of the server. So busy period means customer is waiting for a queue. Then the time period is called as busy time. Then and the ideal time means the server opens the service, but there is no customer. Then the server sits ideal. Then it is called as a ideal time. Then queue discipline. In queue discipline tells about the formation of a queue. The formation of a queue is in four ways. One is FCFS. Number two is LCFS. Number three is SIR or service with priority. Number one, FCFS means first come first serve. We already know it. FCFS means in queuing system, we in queuing we already discussed. We already know about first come first serve. Those who first come, they will first get served. In general, we observe in banks or post office or reservation counters. This we follow the FCFS. In this chapter, we are going to discuss about FIFO. F is FO and first in first out. Next, LCFS means last come last serve. This is the example here we are using an example of cold storage godowns. Cold storage godowns is the best example of LCFS, last come first serve. Next, SIRO, it means service in random order, giving service in a random order or service with priority. Here we give selection of a shirts. Queue behavior means there are four types: barking, reneging, joking, priority. Number one, barking means a customer may live in a queue because the queue is too long and he has no time to wait. It is called such type of customer's behavior is called as barking. Reneging means sometimes the customer who is in a queue for a long time, he lose his patience and he will go from the queue. Then it is called as the customer behavior is called as reneging. Joking means sometimes